In this video, we're breaking down the difference between a bookkeeper, an accounting specialist, and a controller, so you know which one your business actually needs as your finances get more complex. These roles sound similar, but they solve very different problems. If you hire too low, you may get clean records, but still have no idea what the numbers mean. And if you hire the wrong role altogether, your finance work can still feel messy even after bringing someone in. So today, we're going to make this simple. We'll go through what each role does, when to hire each one, what revenue stage usually makes sense, and how to avoid spending money on the wrong finance support. I'm Erin from Paired. Let's get into it. First, let's make the difference really easy. A bookkeeper keeps your financial records clean. An accounting specialist handles more detailed accounting work. A controller manages the full accounting system and helps you understand the bigger financial picture. Think of it like levels. At the first level, you need someone to keep track of what already happened. That is usually a bookkeeper. They make sure your income, expenses, bills, payments, and bank activity are recorded correctly. At the next level, the accounting work gets more specific. You may need help with invoices, vendor payments, payroll, reconciliations, or reports. That is where an accounting specialist can make sense. At the highest level, you need someone who can look at the whole system. A controller helps make sure your books are accurate, your reports are useful, your processes are working, and your leadership team can make better decisions with the numbers. So the question isn't which title sounds better. The question is, what problem am I actually trying to solve? If your records are messy, start with bookkeeping. If the details are too much for one person, look at an accounting specialist. If you need stronger reporting and financial control, you may be ready for a controller. A bookkeeper is usually the first finance person a small business needs. Their job is to keep your money records clean and updated. They track money coming in, money going out, bills, payments, receipts, and bank activity. They may also sort expenses, match bank transactions, create simple reports, and keep your accounting software organized. In simple terms, a bookkeeper keeps your books from turning into a mess. When your records are messy, it's hard to understand your business. You may not know how much you made, how much you spent, or what still needs to be paid. A bookkeeper usually does not make big financial decisions for you. They are not there to build your whole finance plan. Their main job is to keep the records accurate and current. For a small business, that can be a huge relief. Instead of digging through bank statements or trying to fix everything right before tax season, you have something keeping the basics in order all year. You may need a bookkeeper when your business is making money, but the admin is starting to pile up. Maybe you're still handling the books yourself, squeezing it in after client work, or only cleaning things up when tax season gets close. That can work in the very beginning, but eventually it creates stress and messy records. A bookkeeper helps bring order to the basics. They keep your bank activity updated, organize income and expenses, track bills and payments, and make sure your records are not living in 5 different places. This is usually the first finance role a small business needs because it gives you a clean foundation. You may not need deep financial strategy yet, you just need to know the numbers are current, organized, and ready when you need them. In terms of revenue stage, a bookkeeper often makes sense once your business has steady income and regular expenses. If you're doing a few transactions a month, you may be able to handle it yourself, but once you have clients, vendors, subscriptions, payroll, contractors, or multiple accounts, the work can take more time than it should. That is a good sign it's time to stop doing it yourself. An accounting specialist is a more focused finance role. They may help with bookkeeping, but they usually handle one specific part of the accounting work. For example, one accounting specialist may focus on bills your business needs to pay, another may focus on money customers owe you, another may help with payroll, reports, account cleanups, or tax documents. So while a bookkeeper keeps the overall records updated, an accounting specialist goes deeper into one area. This role becomes useful when the finance work is not just about staying organized anymore. Now, certain tasks need more time, care, and follow-up. For example, customers may be paying late. Vendor bills may be hard to track. Payroll may be getting more complicated. Old records may need cleanup. An accounting specialist helps by owning those details and making sure that part of the process runs smoothly. They're usually not the top finance leader in the business, but they bring more focus than a general bookkeeper. You may need an accounting specialist when your business is growing and the finance work has more moving parts. This usually happens after the books are mostly under control, but certain tasks need more attention. Maybe invoices need to go out on time, maybe customers need follow-up when they pay late, maybe vendor bills, payroll, contractor payments, or tax documents are taking too much time. At this stage, you're not just cleaning up the books once a month, you are trying to keep the finance process moving every week. This often makes sense when you have more customers, team members, vendors, or transactions. You may not need a controller yet, but you do do need someone who can own one important part of the accounting work and keep it from slowing the business down. A controller is a more senior finance role. They look at the whole accounting system, not just the daily records. A controller makes sure the books are accurate, reports are useful, and the business has clear financial information. They may manage bookkeepers or accounting specialists. They may also review reports, improve processes, prepare budgets, track cash flow, and help leadership understand what is happening with the money. In simple terms, a controller turns your numbers into information that you can actually use. This is different from bookkeeping. A bookkeeper records what you spend. A controller helps explain what that spending means. For example, they can help you see if expenses are growing too fast, if cash is getting tight, if profit is healthy, or if businesses can afford a new hire. A controller is especially useful when the owner is tired of being surprised by the numbers. So when do you need a controller? You may need one when clean books are no longer enough. Your records might be updated, but you still may not understand what is really happening in the business. A controller can help when revenue is growing, expenses are harder to track, the team is expanding, or leadership needs better reports. They're also useful if you have investors, loans, multiple departments, or more complex planning needs. At this stage, the owner should not have to guess whether they can afford a new hire, why profit dropped, or if cash will be tight next month. A controller builds the systems and reports that makes those decisions clear. The key is not just revenue, it's complexity. If financial decisions are getting bigger, but your reports still feel unclear, controller level help may be the next step. Now let's make this simple. If your business is early and money is coming in regularly, start with a bookkeeper. They keep your records clean so you're not scrambling later. As the business grows and there are more invoices, bills, payroll details, and tax forms, an accounting specialist can help manage the extra work. Then when you start asking bigger questions like whether you can afford to hire, why profit dropped, or where the cash is going, a controller may make sense. So think of it this way: a bookkeeper keeps things organized, an accounting specialist handles the busy details, a controller helps you understand the bigger picture. You don't need the fanciest title, you need the right help for where your business is right now. The biggest mistake is hiring for the title instead of the problem. Some business owners hear controller and think that sounds serious, maybe that is what I need. But if the books are still messy, even a controller has to start by cleaning up the basics. Other business owners do the opposite. They keep relying on a bookkeeper even though the business has clearly outgrown basic support. Books may be updated, but no one is helping them understand cash, profit, or planning. Both can get expensive. Hiring too high can waste money. Hiring too low can keep you stuck. So before you hire, ask yourself what is actually frustrating you. If the records are messy, you probably need bookkeeping help. If invoices, bills, payroll, or reports are slipping through the cracks, an accounting specialist may be the better fit. If the numbers are updated but still confusing, or big decisions feel risky because you don't have clear reports, it may be time for a controller. Do not hire the fanciest title, hire for the problem you need solved. And if you're thinking, I know I need finance help, but I don't want to spend weeks sorting through candidates, that is exactly where a hiring partner can help. Finance roles are especially important to hire carefully because this person is working close to your numbers. You need someone reliable, detail-oriented, and able to communicate clearly. Paired helps businesses connect with vetted overseas talent, including finance and operations professionals, so you are not starting from a blank pile of resumes. Instead of guessing who can handle the work, you can focus on finding someone who fits the level of support your business actually needs. If you want help finding vetted overseas finance talent without spending weeks sorting through applications, check out Paired in the description below. I'm Erin from Paired. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.